This is a natural sea sponge.
Yo, is this Dunkel? He's giving it a fresh fade.
And it was harvested here in Tarpon Springs, Florida.
He's giving it a fresh fade, bro.
The sponge capital of the world.
Yeah, if you remember, yeah, bro, he's my mod. He's in here. Awesome. I meant to say thanks. Thank you.
70% of the natural sea sponges collected globally come from this stretch of Florida's coastline. Generations of residents, many Greek, have built their lives around this foamy sea creature.
I don't know why it's weird to me.
Do anything else.
Sponge divers here have harvested these animals. Yes, they're animals. Since the
based.
1900s.
Okay, do they have a call?
Has been struggling recently.
Do they have a call?
Increasingly
Do sea
frequent
sponges have like a
hurricanes
call
have
and they have the
prevented them from getting out
sponge?
to sea. Some of those storms,
Or is the animal like all around? Is it like a fungus?
have turned some away from
You know what I
the
mean?
industry at all. But sponge diving has faced challenges in the past and has bounced back before.
Oh, they
Sponge
just
sales
cut it like
bring
that.
in a couple $1 million a year. But Tarpon Springs has found another way to leverage its storied history.
It supports probably close to $20 million worth of tourism.
We head to Florida's Gulf Coast to find out how sea sponges became such a big business and why divers are fighting to keep their
Is there a hard spot on the sponge that attaches itself to the bottom? There has to be, right?
Anastasios Charistinos arrived here from Greece in the early 1970s.
Oh, because you gifted him a
7-year-old
sub.
now goes by Captain Tasso.
His name is Tasso Charistinos.
Ocean is, I feel like my house, home for me. Then we ended up in Tarpon Springs. Greek town, Greek music, Greek restaurant. So I fit
Greek.
into a place.
Greek everything.
Sponge diving dates back to ancient
Wait,
Greece.
what the fuck?
So I fit into a place.
Huge caca. Hey, if I saw it, you motherfuckers are all seeing it.
Dates back to ancient Greece. In fact, both Homer and Aristotle wrote about the creatures. Back then,
Greek
people used them
caca.
for bathing, cleaning, painting, and decorating.
If I saw it, saw you motherfuckers, bro. That's how it
When
is.
settlers found natural sponge beds in Florida in the 1800s, Greeks began making their way to America, bringing their trade with them.
That's him. No
In the
shot,
olden
that's
days,
him.
They'd wear suits like this.
That's not him.
But nowadays, divers wear wetsuits in the summer and insulating dry suits in the winter. And they strap on scuba masks and shoes.
They strap on
Anywhere from
Beatles.
to try to basically grip the bottom to run a little faster, to construction boots, to deck boots, to scuba
Everything.
I use no tools. The only thing I got a knife and cut it off. That's it. Knife.
They plunge as low as 60 feet deep to find the sponges.
However, you go over for
I love him, bro.
60 feet, maybe.
I love him, bro.
They walk along the bottom for as long as it
I
takes
love
to
him, bro.
find
He's
the
got a huge cock and he's like, yeah, I just use a fucking knife, bro. I just chop it off.
Go down and I look.
It's easy.
In the old days,
He's like,
they
I'm
used to
70 years old. That is what it
sponges
is.
from the bottom.
Ah.
Now, by law, a diver has to cut the sponge with a knife to promote regeneration. One study shows cut sponges have a much better chance of surviving.
I mean, but
roughly
they
30%
still.
higher than hooked ones. It's kind of like shearing a sheep. or
No,
cutting
it's
a
not.
branch off a tree.
No, it's not.
Sponges actually show the highest regenerative ability of any animal.
Oh, okay.
Still,
Maybe it
Captain
is.
Tasso doesn't harvest the smaller ones. He leaves them behind so they can keep growing.
They have to be 5 inches and up.
They haul their full net up to the boat and make their way back to shore.
And he knows what 5 inches and up is. Definitely. I saw it. I saw it.
Ναι, αλλά η σακούλα μέσα είχε 2 οκτάρια.
On the docks, Tasso and his team get to work, separating and cleaning the sponges.
The price of
Yo,
the
those are
sponges
big,
depends
dude.
of the size of the sponges and the quality.
Wool sponges are the most valuable, going for about $15 each. They're the softest and they hold a lot of water. Yellows are more coarse. They're also the cheapest. As the fishermen sort the sponges, they give them the first of many cleanings.
Yeah, they need to be cleaned. Yeah, because they
Then
got
trim them
dirt
to
and
get rid of
everything,
any
right?
discolorations and to shape them.
That's the reason I'm wearing the gloves, because sponge is like a fine sandpaper. They wear you out, you know, the fingerprints disappear. See?
Oh,
Just like
wow.
glass. I almost dropped my coffee cup this morning, you know what I mean?
Overnight, Captain Tasso leaves his clean sponges out to dry.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, it makes
Some
sense if
people
you do
stop
it
by to
a
ask
1,000
questions or buy
times
straight
a
from the
day.
harvesters on the docks. But Tasso says the best option is finding a wholesale
Bro,
market.
and he's opened,
The
he
sponges find
legs open.
themselves, or rather a piece of themselves, at a processing plant, like this one, about 1.5 miles from the docks. Sponges get soaked in the wetting area and pushed down into a bath with a wooden paddle. Then they're drained in this net and transferred to a water extractor, where they're spun to remove excess water,
Yeah.
leaving the sponges damp and ready for the next stage, cutting.
I mean, I kind of want
The worker
to.
protects his fingers from this
I
sharp
want
wire
that's
with
kind of
gloves.
fucked, you know? I don't want one that's just. Like, what
These
is
are
that?
sponges that are netted up for processing. We'll put them in the bath tonight and they'll sit there overnight and then be processed from there.
Harry Barber manages the plant at Armley Sponge Company. The Armley family founded the company in the Bahamas in 1908 and expanded into Florida about 50 years ago. They opened their Tarpon Springs processing plant in 2018. Into the washing machine they go.
Oh, I
Next,
see the
time
difference.
to dry
I see the difference.
and get sorted by size. They box
I
the
see the
sponges and
difference.
prepare them for shipment.
Bath sponges have taken off tremendously because people want to use something on their children that's sustainable and, you know, clean and natural.
Despite the sponge's near magical ability to regenerate, it was almost wiped out here in the late 1930s by a mysterious disease. And then again in the 40s and 50s, out-of-control algae called red tides killed many local sponge beds. The population survived against all odds and thrived during the industry's heyday in the 1980s, when around 30 sponge boats and 50 divers docked here every day.
Jesus Christ, bro, that's a
Sponges
shit
in
ton
the
of
Mediterranean, and
sponges.
we were able to harvest here locally at higher prices and ship stuff over to the Mediterranean.
But when the Mediterranean fisheries recovered, the demand and the price went down again in Tarpon Springs. Many fishermen went out of business, but some, like Captain Tasso, stuck it out.
And I don't know how to do anything else.
2022 hasn't really been much easier. With
Bro, I
rising
like
inflation
him.
and food
How can you not
prices,
like the guy?
maintaining and gassing up a boat is expensive.
He's
The
brutally
industry is
honest.
facing another problem. Hurricanes are happening more and more because of the climate crisis.
Yeah, well, there's nothing they can do
so
about
bad
it.
years are becoming the norm.
There's nothing you can do
Divers
about
can't
it,
go
so.
out during storms, but there's something else. Even though sponges are technically animals, they survive by attaching themselves to the ocean floor. During a hurricane, many get smothered by sand or hit by tumbling rocks and die.
Aww.
Lately, only a handful of sponge boats and about a dozen divers go out any given day.
You just have to look harder because
I want to see what the heart of a sponge looks like. If they're animals. Like, I want to see what they are.
Here, there.
Captain Tasso works long days.
You know, I want to see like
I worked all my
the
life.
organs
I
and
grew up
everything.
in a family, 12 kids. My father take me up 4 o'clock in the morning, working all day long. I can work 24 hours non-stop.
Handling his
You
sponges
get child
the
work
whole
ethic.
time.
From the time you pick the sponge on the bottom, that's the first time you touch it. By the time you sell it, you have touched the same sponge at least 20 more times.
Yeah, that
Armley
makes sense
mostly
why
buys
his
from independent
fingerprints would
contractors
be
like
gone.
Tasso.
We purchase from them based on what they bring in and the conditions and sizes of what they have.
So the income isn't guaranteed. Sponger Muhip Goktepe goes on these long fishing trips year-round. He makes about $46,000 a year.
If you bring sponges,
I mean-
it's gonna be good year. You don't bring him, no good year. Sometimes hurricane, you know, tropical storm, you don't work.
Some years you work more,
Bro,
you make
I like their
more. Some
outlook.
years less and you make less.
I like their outlook on life, bro. It's simple. They're
The
chill.
financial uncertainty.
Like, yeah, sometimes you do good, sometimes you don't do good.
Gets
Who
cut
gives a
or you
fuck?
dive too deep.
Oh, look!
That's why Muhip and Tasso aren't trying to pass down a family business.
Well, cut my air hose a couple of times. and I run out of air, and I have to swim up. That's a dangerous stuff.
I don't want my kids or my grandkids to do this job.
Oh,
They
wow.
can do better, you know what I mean?
There's not much money into it. Nobody wants to go get beat up out there for 20 days. People prefer to be in the land. I ain't gonna push my grandkids to this job. I don't want them to do that. They do good in the school.
It is sad to see so few fishing, but I certainly understand it. The markets right now won't bear really high prices to offset the cost of fuel. Maintenance on boats is expensive. We're
Yeah.
looking at a country and a world that's trying to look at natural products.
So until the industry can
Feels
rejuvenate
bad,
itself,
man.
Tarpon Springs will have to rely on its tourism. Visitors pour tens of millions of dollars into the community every year, eating authentic Greek food and taking boat tours. They also shop for sponge souvenirs to take home. But many locals wonder if tourism will be the long-term solution, and if it's not, what's next for the upcoming
Why don't
generation
they
of
take
sponges?
the people into... Why don't they do this? Why don't they do this? Hey, listen. You can dive in a certain spot and you can cut your own sponge. How about that? Bro, I'm sure people would love it. I mean, it's the US, right? That's not going to be legal in the US. But if you didn't do it in the US, if you did it in Mexico, you could do that 100%. And you could have these people, these tourists, cut their own sponges, and they could, they get their own sponges. People would like that. I think people would like that, bro. How mantis and worm cocoons are turned into expensive silk in Vietnam? What?
Each of these cocoons holds almost 1,000 feet of silk. And these wiggly little guys are responsible for spinning them. Here in Nam Cao, Vietnam, craftspeople weave silk that's so valuable it can sell for $150 a dress. That's because this is really delicate work.
I always wondered how you get the silk.
Each cocoon has
It
to
comes
be
from a
handheld,
cocoon.
and the worms themselves are really hard to raise.
Okay, I thought the worms left a trail or something, but it's from the fucking cocoon, bro. I thought they were like spiders, you know what I mean? They left it through the ass. But no, it's cocoons, and then you break them up.
For one, they're always hungry, and they need the perfect environment, or else they'll die. Today, Vietnam is the second biggest producer of raw silk in the world. Nearly everyone in this village works in the industry, and they're using many of the same techniques passed down for generations. But about a decade ago, the industry in this town almost dried up.
Khi tôi về gần 10 năm trước, làng nghề chỉ còn có 3 hộ.
Why?
Fake silk from China had flooded the market.
Oh, fucking
and warmer
China.
temperatures were threatening the worms' lives. But this
China every
area
time.
revived itself, thanks to Han. She got farmers to weave more profitable goods and helped them reinvest in new technologies that boosted production.
What is that?
Tôi đã trao quyền cho bà con.
How to the
We head
people
to Vietnam
based.
to see how one village saved its big business of silk. Silkvillages.Vietnam. And they produce silk in a tedious 30-step process.
How?
It all starts in fields like this one. There aren't any worms.
That's the kind of shit that I always wonder. How did anybody do that, bro? If there's 30 steps to get there, how? Like, how?
These leaves contain vitamins, amino acids, and enough moisture that the worms never need
How
to
do
drink
you
water.
discover that? How do you go through that process?
Farmers bring loads of harvested leaves to the silkworm houses.
Can you use it after 5 steps? And then somebody said, hey, if we do another 5 steps, it comes out better. And then another 5 steps, it comes out better. Is that how it worked? Or did somebody say, yeah, this is just useless right now? Still useless? Useless?
Han Van Tin is a
Still
35-year
useless?
veteran farmer.
And then
He
on
buys
step
tens
30,
of thousands
this is
of
useful.
worms from breeders each year. And he raises
I always
them
wonder
on
how
big
that process
bamboo
went.
mats on the first floor of his home. When it's feeding time, he lays a net on the worms. Then he
Okay.
heaps 3 pounds of food on top. The healthy worms
Why the
crawl
net?
through the holes and get to
Oh.
munching.
The net is so that not all of them can eat.
Nó vậy là những con nào
Only the
mà nó
healthy ones.
xấu ấy thì nó lọt lại.
And the other ones die.
And they eat over 600 pounds of leaves a day.
Ruộng ăn cơm nằm, nuôi tầm ăn cơm đứng, chỗ đó phụ nó phải vậy mà.
Meaning tin can't rest because the worms eat every 4 hours.
600 pounds?
Thì tơ nó sẽ kém chất lượng hơn.
Bro, hold on. 600 pounds and he puts on
They also
3
need a
pounds of
sterile
leaves?
environment and a perfect temperature
Every day?
of around 22 degrees Celsius.
So he has to do this 200 times a day? Are you fucking kidding me?
Gọi là bệnh sâu sắn gai người. Không có tơ trong bụng.
After nearly a month of eating and sleeping, their bodies will plump up.
Tơ nó nhìn có thể tơ vàng nhìn lên và để chúng ta cho lé lên và để ra thành kén.
Tin delivers the worms to another family in Hong Kong.
Hong
They
Kong.
hang them on racks stuffed with straw. The worms spit the silk out of this organ, called a spinneret. During this vulnerable time, workers fight off bees that attack the silkworms.
Oh my
The
god,
worms
bro.
need sunny weather to produce colorful cocoons. Because if it's rainy and gray outside, the cocoons could lose their color and look damaged.
What?
Within 2 days, the
Okay,
cocoons
so
are
they
ready.
need sunlight to be like activate.
Workers remove each one by hand. Once they've got a big enough pile, they boil the cocoons in water. That way, they can kill the pupae insides and either eat them or use them in traditional medicine.
Như ở quê mình thì mình cắt ra.
It's the kids. Hold on. Is it the kids or is it them that are going to become a butterfly? Are they going to become a butterfly? Or is that kids? No, that's them. Bruh. Then how do you get more kids? Hold on, how do you get more kids? So many questions, bro. I have so many questions.
Cho các ông uống bia hoặc là ăn cơm vẫn bình thường, không có vấn đề gì.
Then they soak the cocoons for another 5 to 7 hours before pulling the threads.
Look at
Nấu
that.
3-5 tiếng, tại sao phải nấu vùi vậy để cho sợi nó mềm ra.
Families here pass down the delicate technique.
Don't break it,
of
don't break
handpulling
it.
thread.
Don't break it.
Coi như là tôi làm đến gia đình nhà tôi làm đến tôi là đời thứ 4.
Don't
Con
break
gái
it.
tôi là đời thứ 5 bây giờ vẫn tiếp.
Do they spin it?
Pham Thi Buong has worked in silk for nearly 60 years. She'll unravel about 70 grams of thread a day.
She needs to stop working harder, bro. 70 grams? Come on, bro.
Nó chai, nó sạm và cũng như là nó dợt hết đi. Nhưng mà sau trong tình yêu của các nghệ nhân vẫn đang còn rất là nhiều.
This machine reels the silk. Workers then hang the threads to dry.
Ai mà bà đánh mà không chuẩn mắt lên nó đứt. Đấy. Thì là người dệt cũng vất vả mà nó lặn xuống những cái cục.
Hey, fuck the next
Let's
person,
head to
bro.
the cooperative to be woven.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Sợi tơ chất lượng 5A xuất khẩu đi châu Âu.
And finally, the silk gets dunked 100 times in all natural dyes.
Paint it.
They use gak fruit for red, almond leaves or turmeric for yellow, tallow leaves for black, and indigofera for, well, indigo. It's the same technique
Black?
they've used for generations. Silk weaving
That
dates
didn't
back
look black at all.
4,000 years in Vietnam, all the way to the Bronze Age. For millennia, it was the fabric of choice for nobility. And in its heyday in the 16th to 18th century, traders came from all over the world to buy Vietnam's silk. Beginning in the 2000s, Vietnam's temperatures heated up, and storms came more frequently.
Cái con tằm này thì là nó không có ưa nhiệt độ ẩm cao.
Bro, these silkworms, I'm not gonna lie, bro, these silkworms, they seem to be a little bit of a little bitch.
Những người thực sự trong
They seem to be little bitches, bro.
Đốt cháy lên thì mình mới biết được thôi.
Real silk will burn slowly and smell like burnt hair, while the fake stuff will burn
Yeah, 'cause of the
quickly
protein.
and smell like plastic. Prices for Vietnam's silk fluctuated, dropping as low as $3 per kilo.
Wait, what did I say?
With less
Yeah,
profit,
because of the
young
plastic
people
or the
took jobs
proteins?
in textile factories in the cities to earn more.
I said
Cái
proteins,
mà
right?
làm nghề gần như
Different
mất đi
proteins.
và gần như ngày đấy là mọi người đã gần như là chán lắm rồi.
Han heard the story of the diminishing craft village when she visited in the early 2010s, and she wanted to help.
Bro, I feel like my lungs haven't recovered from the Rona.
She decided to band families together.
Đó là chúng tôi mới thành lập lại hợp tác.
I gotta do the fucking breathing exercises that guy did. You know that governor or the fucking brother of the governor, where he said, yeah, I would come out and I would do breathing exercises.
Thay vì chỉ là một người làm thôi.
Who needs lungs anyways?
Chúng ta phải giữ lấy nghề, bởi vì nghề này nó góp phần cho đất nước, cho quê hương, cho mỗi vùng miền.
She got farmers
Yeah, I feel like I can't breathe as much as I used to.
Raise worms in any weather.
That sucks.
Chắc là mình phải lắp điều hòa.
Gotta do more cardio.
Độ cho nó mát mẻ.
They went from being able to produce 440 to 600 pounds of cocoons per year to over 2,200 pounds. Han introduced benefits for the farmers, like holidays off and helping stabilize the price for silk.
Mini-vax? Yeah, I got vaccinated, bro.
Mình yên tâm về được cái giá cả.
Today, over 200 families in Nam Cao are part of her
I had to.
cooperative, pumping out 220 pounds.
Cooperative. Sounds
And
communistic
each
to
family can
me.
make up to $12,000 a year, a high wage for this area. They weave a silk that is
Bro,
great at moisture and temperature
12K
control, making
for
it breathable in the
Mexico
summer
is
and insulating in
insane.
winter.
For Vietnam, it would be
Because of
even
these
better.
properties, silk from Han's
Bro, these people are
collected can be
rich.
used in everything from sofa covers, curtains, and suits to pillowcases and sheets.
Tầm đấy. Bằng tư tầm.
Stuffing from silk?
Còn có cái vỏ bọc của nó thì là đấy.
Really?
Những khách hàng của chúng tôi là những nhà thiết kế thời trang.
The clients include fashion designers? Hey, Dunkel.
Các siêu thị mẹ.
Bro, I swear to God, Dunkel can be inserted into almost any stream and it works, bro.
So farmers can reinvest.
Oh my God, he's so versatile.
Sau này thì như Hạnh nói là sẽ về làm đây cái khu
God damn.
để ấy đấy, chăn nuôi và nhà kính nhà gì đó hay là nhà chăn nuôi tầm lạnh.
Until then, they'll keep spinning away.
Yêu người bao nhiêu thì yêu nghề bấy nhiêu.
Oh yeah, you do, because you're rich, motherfucker.
Dịp tuổi năm cao Hạnh rồi, còn giờ cô còn mong là đến làm cho các cháu chắc như cô nữa.
Cô là vẫn cứ phát triển, càng mong phải càng phải phát
Yeah, they
triển
got
hơn nữa,
paid
chứ không phải
a
là-
ton. This is the first story that we watched from the Insider where the people actually like get paid, you know? Pencils made from old newspaper. Bruh. But how do you make the carbon? What? I don't give a fuck. Why does this have an optic of